Hey everybody, it's Peter from Brantford Kia. This is Peter's playlist, and part of Peter's playlist is about my ownership experience with my electric vehicle. So here's what we're going to cover on this one. Winter tires, I recommend you swap them. I'll tell you why. There's some things that are traditional for car vehicle or for gas vehicles, and some things that you need to pay attention to if you're interested in an electric vehicle or if you own an electric vehicle. The other thing is this car is better this afternoon than it was this morning when I brought it in. All of that's going to be covered in this video. It's going to be kind of boring because I don't know how to make these interesting, but stay with me if you're into the information. So first of all, these are the all-season tires that come with the car. You'll notice that I happen to have the same rims. You don't have to do that. These are my winter tires. I have them on identical rims. I'm weird that way. I just did that. You can also put these on steel rims. That's perfectly fine. But keep in mind, for the sake of this video, the tires that are on the car are winter tires. This car, or this wheel, is the original wheel that came with the car. Okay, so let's cover a couple things. Why did I put winter tires on? It's not just because I, like to talk about winter tires. The reality is these eco tires, these high mileage or high efficiency tires that come with the car, traditionally, they're not good in cold weather. So before it gets snowy and crazy, I already could tell that these tires didn't have the traction that I'm comfortable having, so I put winter tires on. But I want to warn you, if you bought an electric vehicle, your high efficiency tires, same thing, this is not a secret. We talked about this with Michael Kopke, who's the director of marketing with Kia Canada. He's encouraging everyone as well with these cars to put proper all-season or proper winter tires on to replace your all-season, because these eco tires, traditionally, not great in the cool weather, not great in the winter weather. They do a great job of efficiency, but in our weather, we all recommend switching them, so you should do that. Now, let's talk about a couple things a couple benefits of doing that. We all bought an electric vehicle, we're like, yay, no more oil changes. Well, we in the industry have made a mistake of calling our service ones or service twos oil changes. There's a lot more that we do at a dealer than just an oil change. We do a number of inspections, and the problem is, if you're like me and you bought an electric vehicle, you just don't want to go to the dealership all that often. And because you don't have an oil change due, you get off of a regular schedule of having your car checked out. And that can lead to problems with your ownership experience. And you do want to save money, but you also want to make sure that you're putting the maintenance into your car that you need to do. So what I love about swapping winter tires is it puts me at the dealership twice a year. Now I get it, nobody wants to go to a dealership, but let's talk about that. My car came in this morning to get the winter tires swapped. By the time it's out this afternoon, which is right now, it's actually in better condition. It's a better car than when I brought it in. Why? Because it had a software update. So these software updates are part of what we call service actions and service campaigns. They kind of function like a recall. They're basically something that Kia does for free for you and for your vehicle, and it makes it better. So mine had a software update today, and again, because I'm not coming in for oil changes, I'm not really going to get notified about that. So swapping the tires twice a year means twice a year my car is coming in, and I get to find out if my car has a software improvement or even hardware improvement that Kia will pay for that makes my car better. It happened to have one today, really good thing. The other thing that's really, really important with an electric vehicle, we recommend it on gas vehicles as well, but I think it's more important on an electric vehicle. I recommend doing your brake services. Now we say around once a year or 24,000 kilometers. That can vary based on your usage, based on where you live, based on the salt on the roads, all kinds of factors. So what's a brake service? Real quick, simplified explanation. Your brakes have to grab and release, and there are bare metal parts in there that can develop some corrosion. If it gets too much corrosion, your brakes can grab because there's thousands of pounds of pressure that push it together, but they may not release because there's not as many pounds of pressure that release those brakes. What that means is your brake pads could be rubbing. You'll never really tell from the driver's seat, or you very rarely can tell from the driver's seat, but what you do end up with is brakes that wear quickly. And you don't want to have brakes that wear quickly on an EV, because we all know with the regenerative braking, those wheel brakes aren't really activated that much, which means the corrosion can build up a long ways before they're activated just once. And when they're activated, if they need servicing and they don't release, then you've got problems where you're wearing out your brakes needlessly. So we recommend brake service around once a year or so. But the nice thing is, if you're doing your tire swaps, you have a mechanic pulling off your wheels, taking a look at your brakes. They can tell you, hey, I recommend a brake service right now, or you you can go to your next swap because they know you'll be back on a regular time period, and they know that they can wait on it, or you can do it yourself. You can ask to see it, you can ask for an explanation. There's all kinds of, like, you don't have to feel like you're being taken advantage of. You can tell when they need brake service, and you can ask to see it yourself. That's not a problem. So, because you're like me and you're like, yay, I don't have to go for oil changes anymore, you may not be on a regular schedule of having your car checked out. There are steering components, there are suspension components, there are a whole bunch of inspections that we can do at no charge to you that are important. And by doing a winter tire swap, you put yourself back on a regular schedule where you have a low-cost service of just throwing the tires on and off. You can do your cabin air filters, they can have those checked out as well at the same time. There's a bunch of little things you can do, inspections that are required for general maintenance. All of that can be done while you're swapping your tires. So a lot of this is done at no cost or low cost to you, and it makes a ton of sense. And the big thing is, like I said, software improvements. You get those while you're swapping your tires. So quick recap: eco tires, bad in cold weather; snow tires, good in cold weather. Very important. Brakes, you hardly ever use your wheel brakes, but if you do and they have too much corrosion, you end up with a problem. Have them inspected twice a season, have them serviced maybe once a year, or whatever the technician recommends. You'll save yourself some problems. And like I said, those software improvements, every time you take a vehicle into the Kia dealer, we'll run your VIN number and we can have improvements. That's why we recommend winter tires instead of your eco-friendly all-season tires. Will your mileage drop? We're going to track that in a future episode of Peter's Playlist. I hope I've earned your subscription. If I have, click that subscribe button, and you can watch for more Peter's Playlist. We talk about electric cars a lot. We talk about a whole bunch of other stuff as well. And yeah, thanks for watching, everyone.